Hey guys, how are we today? I I've been doing okay. Snowed in for a few days, but we had everything that we needed and it was fine. I know that a lot of people, hey Miss Arnold, how are you? It's so good to see you. So good to see you. I know that a lot of people lost electricity, so I'm so very thankful that that didn't happen with us. Hey, hippie chick, how are you? It's so good to see you. Um, and for this week's community post, guys, I just left it this morning, and I left a quote about I'd asked for prayers for the everybody affected by the fires, and somebody told me that, hey Astro, how are you? um so somebody had told me that quote from Mr. Rogers, and it was look for the helpers. And so that's what I'd been doing all day today, and I found a lot of helpers, you guys. um he said his mama told him that, and I thought, well, that's a smart mama, you know. Hey Trista, how are you? It's so good to see you. It sure is. Um, and I thought that is one smart mama, you know. So that's what I've been doing today. And I did find I found this one little video where this lady had seen these two firefighters at her house before she had to evacuate. And when she came back, they had left a note on her door. Hey, Van, how are you? It's so very good to see you. They had left a note on her door and said, they said, I'm sorry that we couldn't save everything, but we were able to save the biggest portion of your house. And please reach out if you can. Love, Nick and Tony. And I thought, oh my goodness. You know, they first responders, and I worry about them too, you guys. We have no idea the devastation that they have to see, and they're I'm sure they're giving it all they got. Hey Nicole, how are you? Are you and baby girl staying warm? I hope so. Hey Music City Mom, it's good to see all you guys coming in. I do have a few small updates. Remember this fella that was he it was wanted in Wisconsin for the murders of his living girlfriend, and also for a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old. And after 11 days, he was captured. Well, I found out that when the police, I'm going to take his mug off the screen. I found out when the police got a call that of a suspicious person, and they found him in a car. He told them a different name, and he told them that he was doing a 21-day survival challenge. Like, who would think to say such, anyways? I mean, that was crazy. And then I watched his preliminary hearing, and he did allegedly, he told investigators that he confessed to the three murders, and so he's got a $5 million bond. So hopefully he won't be getting out anytime soon. And I watched an interview from the 13-year-old's parents, you guys, and it was so sad. Bless them, bless them. I do think that it was a good thing how that they didn't release the juveniles' names at first. Um, I think that that would save a lot in the future if not everybody did that, you know? A lot of conjecture and speculation and stuff like that. Oh, and I do have one more update, you guys. Remember the three women from Columbus that we spoke about? It is 34-year-old Sierra Muse, 49-year-old Dawn Clover, and 36-year-old Tiffany Parrish. Hey, MK, I hope you have a good day. Um, I believe that that was their ages. I'm not looking at my notes right now, but their autopsies did come out. These were the 3 women in Columbus. And you guys know that when we were looking into them, we saw a lot of speculation about drugs and things like that. And we know that that doesn't matter to us here. We want justice for them just the same. Hey, Neat Noodle, how are you? Happy Monday. Um, is that where you're from, Miss Arnold? Um, we know that that makes no difference to us here. They deserve justice just the same. And like I said last time, we don't know if they would have changed their lives the next day. You know, they didn't have that chance. Somebody took it from them. And that's not right or fair at all. And so, but the autopsies did come back that there was drugs in their system, which that's no surprise. But they said the part that got me, you guys, was they said that they all had gunshot wounds to the front and the backs of their heads. And I don't know, you guys, it really bothered me when I read that. And they remember they did apprehend somebody for their roommate's murder that was 4 days before that. They did apprehend that guy, but they're still looking for one more person at least in that murder. And they still have nobody in jail for the 3 women's murders. So I do have that number across the bottom of my screen. If you have any information, please contact the Columbus Police Department, and it's the homicide unit at 614-645-4730, or Central Ohio Crime Stoppers at 614-461-TIPS, which is 8477. What I'm afraid of, you guys, is that they have the one person in jail awaiting trial for their roommate's murder, and I'm afraid that they're not going to try, since they already have that guy. It could be the same guy, because remember, he was out at the time of the women's murders, but it could also be someone else. And I'm just afraid that they think they have the perpetrator, and they're not going to work. You know, you guys know what I'm saying. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that to our attention again. So hopefully I can bring a good update about that soon, you guys. But today what we're here for is Ashley Elkins. And guys, I know that usually she is technically still missing. And I know usually I say, well, we have to keep up hope, you know, and I'm always about that, you guys, but it looks really, really, really bad in this situation. They have her ex-boyfriend in jail for lying to the police, but they found a lot of evidence at his home. And so I just don't want to get your guys' hopes up in this situation, because it's the worst that we've looked at so far about missing people. But we can still share her information. We never know if somebody saw her after she went missing, or if they saw the boyfriend that's in jail right now, so that we could find her, you know. So this is Ashley Elkins. She was last seen on January the 2nd. She was left from her home. She does have 2 little boys that are 7 years old and 10 years old. And she left them early that morning about 8:30 to let me tell you guys her stats first. She's 30 years old, and she's 5'3", and she weighs 160 pounds. And she does have a few tattoos. She has a butterfly on her back and left arm and above her breast. And on the left side of her shoulder, she has sunflowers and her children's names. It's a beautiful tattoo. I think that I have a picture of it here too. This is a picture of her tattoo. It's really, really pretty. Um, So I'll put you guys back here. So it was on January the 2nd. I believe that was a Thursday. And she left about 8:30 that morning to run some errands, and her two little boys, her younger sister was home watching them. Ashley went to cosmetology school, and she was doing hair at her home first. And hey, Debbie, how are you? It's okay. We're just getting started. Um, she did hair at first at her home, and on her Facebook page, she has so many pictures of the hair that she's done, and I could tell that she took so much pride in her work. And I love people that take pride in their work. It means a lot to me, and I know that this channel isn't my job, but I take a lot of pride in what I do too, in this. And so it means a lot to me. And I could tell that she took a lot of pride in her work too. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. How are you? Um, she was working out of her house at first, and the boyfriend, you guys, let me show you guys him. I only have one picture of him. Deandre Howard Booker. He's 32 years old, I believe. But so if you've seen him from January 2nd to the 7th, please contact the numbers. Let me change my numbers at the bottom of the screen, you guys. I always like to put the numbers at the bottom of the screen so that, let me find it here. Yeah, the Warren Police Department. Okay, so she was dating him, like I was saying, and she had to actually switch from doing hair at her home, and she rented a space because he was jealous about that. So that's like red flag number one, right? And oh, well, like what I was saying, you guys, if you saw him from January the 2nd until the 7th, please call the Warren Police Department and let them know where you've seen him at, because it might be the key to finding Ashley, Okay, let me put it back on Ashley for a while. And this is her with her two little babies. They're 7 and 10 years old right now. And right now they are with their grandmother, Monica, Ashley's mom, but they do have a dad that's in the picture. And so they're all coming together for the kids. I know you guys would be worried where the kids are at right now. So back to the 2nd, she left the house that morning to run her errands. She was going to a beauty supply store, she told later. And about 10 minutes after she left, her mama showed up at her house. She was just coming by anyways. So about a little after 9 that morning, her mama texted her. She had a bad dream about Ashley's car going missing. And it kind of freaks me out, you guys, about how we have premonitions in our dreams. I'm not sure how I feel about fortune tellers and things like that, because I have seen some things in the Bible about how to avoid, you're supposed to avoid those things. So I'm not for sure how I feel about that, to be honest. And you guys can feel totally different. But about premonitions, Miss Arnold said mamas know sometimes. They absolutely do. They absolutely do know. And I know for a fact that you can have premonitions in your dreams, because you guys know that I had my accident, and that left me paraplegic. And for about the week or two before that, I had been having dreams that I was wrecking my car. And when I was wrecking, I would always lean over to the side. So that's what I did in my dream. And if I hadn't, then I could have had a brain injury, or even worse, because the whole roof of my car was caved in. So I do believe in premonitions in your dreams. Absolutely. Miss Arnold says, I've had two and both came to fruition. Scared the crap out of me. Yeah. Yeah. So I absolutely believe in this. And so her mama tried to call her, and all Ashley texted back was "aw man." And so she said that that wasn't like her when she started thinking later. So she tried to FaceTime Ashley, and she didn't answer, and she thought that was weird too. And then a little bit later, Ashley texted a family member and said that she was going to a specific beauty supply store. Well, when Ashley didn't come home that night, uh, her little sister used, I think it was Find a Friend or Find Your Phone, and she pulled up that Ashley's last known whereabouts was near Deandre's apartment. And that freaked her out, and that was weird because um, they had been broken up since last September. And they broke up because her mama said that they found a whole bunch of Facebook profiles that Deandre had under different names. And the people that were commenting were all the same girls. And usually, if it's just different people, usually comment unless, that was kind of sus. And also because he was really, really jealous. And like I told you guys, she even had to change her work from doing her work at home because of how jealous he was. But she said before they found that and everything, that he was a good guy. She said that he used to take the boys to get their haircuts, and he would take them to play ball at the park. And she said she actually thought that they might even get married, that he might be the one. But after they found the Facebook profiles and all of the red flags about him being jealous and stuff like that, they broke up. But I do have to tell you guys something that happened 2 days before that she went missing. It was December the 31st. And yeah, Miss Arnold. Yeah, I think so too. It was December 31st. And like I said, Ashley did hair from her home. And she got a booking from an anonymous name. She didn't know who this person was. And when they showed up, guess who was at the door? Deandre. And when he came, she told everybody at her house to oh, right here, you guys. This is what I was looking for. Let me read to you guys exactly what the dream said. And then I'll tell you what happened on the 31st. Okay, so it says, Ashley's mother arrived at her daughter's home about 10 minutes later after Ashley left. At around 9:06 a.m., Monica Elkins claimed she sent her daughter a text. For a while, the matriarch had meant to share a dream she had about Ashley. In her dream, the missing woman came and got Monica's truck and left her car in her mother's driveway. So they switched cars in her dream. And when Monica looked out of the house, she saw the car wasn't there. Later, the grandmother found it in a field with trees while the hood and trunk were up. So that was the dream that she was trying to tell Ashley that morning. So that kind of gives me the chills, huh? Debbie says, I used to get deja vu all the time. Used to freak me out. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So you guys know what we're saying here. Let me see here. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to share about that. So then I'll go back and tell you guys what happened on the 31st. 2 days before she was last seen. So it was him, you guys. He had made the appointment to do hair under an anonymous name. And when he showed up, Ashley told everybody in her house to be quiet, and he finally left. But that was kind of freaky too, huh? So back to the second, when so her sister did find a friend on her phone, and the last place was right around Deandre's apartment. So the next day, they file a missing persons report. Her family does. And they hadn't talked to Ashley anymore after the all man text, after her mama was telling her about her dream. And later, she said that didn't sound like her daughter at all. And for her not to answer on FaceTime was a big deal, because she always answered her mama, especially if she didn't have her kids, you know. So when police went to the boyfriend's apartment after she was reported missing on the 3rd, they didn't find Ashley or Deandre there. And so now I want to show you guys the first video. That's what I've tried to do, is put them in order. So that brings us up the news media. This is out of Michigan, you guys. And the news media didn't really start reporting about it until the 5th. And it was just a really short video. So I won't show you guys that. But I will show you guys the... and I'll share the link with you guys so that you can watch it on your own time too. Hang on just 1 second, and I'll come back and get you guys.
Now to the mysterious disappearance of a Macomb County mother of 2.
The family of 30-year-old Ashley Elkins is desperate to find her.
Now, detectives in the city of Warren, where she lives, are leading this investigation. But police in Roseville have been looped into this case.
7 News Detroit reporter Brittany Toulis is live outside the Warren Police Department, lifting the voices of Elkins' family members who are pleading for Ashley's safe return. And of course, they're hoping the public can help. Ashley, how long has Ashley Elkins been missing?
Yeah, Keenan, Alicia, Ashley's family says they haven't seen or talked to her in 5 days, saying her kids have never gone this long without their mom. Now, her...
Let me see what day this was, you guys. January 7th. So she had been missing quite a while here.
Sister and her also kept track of each other's location with this feature on their iPhone. It's called the Find My feature. This also stopped 5 days ago. Now we want to show you what Ashley looks like. So if you're out in Warren, you can keep an eye out. Now this is Ashley Elkins. She's 30 years old and a black woman standing at 5'2" and about 150 pounds. Her family says the mom of 2 was last seen at 8:30 a.m. on January 2nd, leaving her Knox Avenue home here in Warren to run errands. Ashley's mom, Monica, says that morning she FaceTimed with Ashley after having a nightmare about her, telling Ashley to be careful. Ashley's sister, Alexis, says just hours after that call around noon, Ashley left home again, seeing Ashley's location in her iPhone's Find My Friends app. Now, with Ashley's last location,
This is Ashley's house, you guys, and then the apartment that they were showing is Deandre's house, and her mama is absolutely pitiful, you guys. I'm glad that she does say, oh, you guys, I forgot to show you the flyer from the Black and Missing Foundation. Her mama does say that the Black and Missing Foundation, that they have helped her a lot get flyers out and helped her a lot. So I appreciate them so very much. I don't have to say the obvious, you guys, that there is a significant difference in the Black community about how much coverage that they get news-wise. Well, I told you guys that she was reported missing on the 3rd. I've only seen it on local news stuff. I haven't seen anything, News Nation or anywhere like that. But the Black and Missing Foundation did help them a lot. But even the the local news didn't start reporting anything until the 5th, and it was such a short video that I didn't want to show you guys. But this video is the 7th, and I found a whole lot after the 7th. I did. Hey, Aaron, good to see you. And you guys, nonsense. She did you guys know when you get 10,000 subscribers, you can do a fundraiser and the money goes directly to the foundation. It doesn't go, YouTube doesn't take any parts out of it, and the creator doesn't touch it. When you get 10,000, you can link the foundation directly to your live. And Nonsense did her second fundraiser for the Black and Missing Foundation, and I thought that was awesome, you guys. Kathy says, I've heard great things about that organization. Me too. I really, really have. And I just thought that was awesome. One day, you guys, we will get there and we can decide. Her first one was from NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and our second one was for the Black and Missing Foundation. And we could do that too. We will get there, guys.
Being her ex-boyfriend's apartment complex in Roseville. Neighbors saying they haven't seen him in days. Now, her family saying 2 days before her disappearance, that ex-boyfriend came to Ashley's house uninvited.
The day he came to the house, he acted like he was a client, and he made an appointment with her. She was expecting a client. It was him. And they were in the house quiet. She told him to be quiet. He knocked on the front door on the side door, and then he left. And here is 2 days later, she's gone.
She has not been in touch with anyone. We're talking about a mother of 2 children who are 10 and 7 years old, who loves her children, loves her family. She's always in contact with her family.
Oh, guys, I forgot to tell you, that is Maurice Morton, and that is Ashley's uncle. And he actually used to be a prosecutor in, I think that it was Warren County, from 1998 to 2004, I believe. I can't find it in my notes right now, but this family was blessed enough to have him. He's the family spokesperson, and so they were blessed to have him to be able to speak for them, because we don't know, and I don't want any of us to ever know what this family's going through, but we can think that it would be so hard to speak during this time, and to have somebody like this to speak for them, that makes a big difference, I would say. So that's good. And they had the Black and Missing Foundation, so that was really good too.
And to not be in contact or not have responded in 5 days or reached out, that's just uncommon.
Now, Warren police are investigating, and they also confirm Ashley's last known location is Roseville. Now, right now, investigators are using digital forensics to comb through the security footage they collected from surrounding businesses while canvassing that area in Roseville. Now, if you're watching and have any information on Ashley's disappearance or where she is, you're asked to call Warren police. You can find that information on WXYZ.com.
Okay, guys, so that takes us up to January the 7th. I know, Debbie, me and Foxy said that they removed the Richard Gere. There's no gear at the top anymore to do that, and I have trouble setting it to subscribers only, and so Aaron and Brad have to help me do that. Hey, Aries, Captain Aries, Davy Jones, Flying Dutchman, how are you? I hope you're well. So that brings us to Tuesday, January the 7th. And I believe it was after that newscast, they found her car. They found Ashley's car, and it was located about 4 miles from Deandre's apartment. So they found her car, and they searched his apartment. And you guys, they end up even removing a dumpster from his apartment, and that now I know why I saw the update that I did today. Today they're searching the, hey 71, how are you? It's good to see you. I saw today, you guys, they're searching a local landfill. And so, hey, grateful middle-aged cat mama, good to see you. It's so good to see you. I hope that you're staying safe with all the fires and stuff that's going on. We're praying for everybody. So they found her car and they searched his apartment that day. And let me see here. And the police when they searched his house, whatever they found there was bad. They didn't say exactly what they found, but they found it so much that it led them to believe that she was deceased. And they spoke to her family. I believe it was that night. No, it was the next night. The next night, they spoke to her family and told her family that what they have found in the apartment led them to believe that she is no longer with us. They had a problem finding Deandre at first. Remember, I told you guys that when they went to his apartment just to check and see if Ashley was there, he wasn't there. He had went to Flint, and I didn't look up to see how far apart those two were, but they ended up finding him in Flint. So they brought him back, and whatever he told the police from the 4th and to the 7th got him in big trouble, and he has been arrested for, let me see the exact charges. Lying to police officers and willfully providing false and misleading information in their investigation into the disappearance of Ashley. And a retired police detective said that they do this a lot to keep the suspect behind bars so they can't destroy evidence until they can press further charges. So I'll show you guys the next video that I found. Now, it was when, let me see here. So this was after the family was called to they had a meeting with police, and they told them that Ashley was likely deceased, and it was when Deandre was arrested. And so right after they come out of the police station, Maurice speaks again, their spokesperson.
Maurice Morton, MauriceMorton.
And what is your title and how are you handling?
You guys let me know if I need to boost the audio. This is kind of low. I'll boost it a little bit just in case.
Spokesperson for the family and uncle.
And who are we here with? We have mom and other family members?
We have the family. We have mom, sister, grandmother, auntie, cousins. We have a lot of family here.
What's the update tonight?
We did meet with Roseville and Warren Police Department tonight.
Grateful middle-aged cat mama says, I am safe, but dad won't leave. Please pray the Santa Anas don't get worse again. Yes, I saw about those winds. Yes, you all are in our prayers. I'm so very sorry. So very sorry. Aries, thank you. Thank you for keeping everybody updated. Erin said that that's how she knew that there was going to be tornadoes in her area was because of Aries. She hadn't seen it on the news or anything, and he helped Erin. We love you keeping us updated, buddy. Thank you.
A little after 7:30, we met with Chief Berlin and we met with multiple deputy chiefs, and they gave us an update on what was found yesterday. What they indicated was there was substantial evidence collected at the home of the ex-boyfriend. They also indicated that based upon that evidence, um, that Ashley was murdered. Um, they don't have her body at this time. They do have good leads on where her body is. Um, they also indicated to us that the boyfriend is in custody right now on related charges, not for murder at this time. A warrant is being prepared, but he will be arraigned in the morning at Roseville District Court at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Family has been saying since Friday that they suspected this man. Um, Speak on behalf of them. What are they feeling? What are they thinking now?
You know, as we said before, there was a lot of frustration by the family. We felt that things could have gone faster. But we do know that since Monday, the police have worked hard. We're thankful to get to, the point of getting some information. It's not the information we would want naturally. But at this point, it's about justice.
There's there's Ashley's mama Monica. There you guys. She's on the right with the fur. Bless her heart. It seems like they have I'm going to show you guys the preliminary hearing of Deandre too, and I'll show you guys the pictures. They said it was packed, you guys. She had at least 40 family members there, and it makes me really happy when families have that kind of support. Um, oh no, Aries. Don't jinx us, buddy.
This because there was a monster out there that took a very beautiful young lady away from us. And if you heard the tears coming from and her children tonight, it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Now, as far as where Ashley may be, what are police indicating to you?
We don't have that information at this time. They have a strong suspicion of where she may be.
The boys, 10, 7 years old,
Yes,
won't have a mom anymore.
no, they won't.
What happens next for them?
It's going to take a lot of family. Everyone here is going to take the love and support of the family. They do have their father. They have grandparents. Everyone's going to embrace them and support them. That's actually starting now. The healing starts now. Grieving as a process is different for everyone. Um, we know ultimately we'll have to go through a court process to make sure that justice is done. But we know it's going to be tough, but it's going to take the family coming together and the community supporting us.
A lot of people have asked, were there signs? Was there something that this man did? I know there were some allegations possibly of stalking and maybe abuse. Can you talk to us about?
The news anchor is asking if there was signs about abuse before this, if there was stalking and any red flags. And unfortunately, you guys, this, she had already left him. And you think that, we know that statistically leaving a relationship is the most dangerous time for women. And she had already left the relationship for 3 months now. And so you have to be careful even afterwards, you know.
Out what signs were there?
Yeah, honestly, we don't know, right? They had broken up in September. We know that Ashley didn't want anything to do with him. So, you know, I can't get in the mind of a psychotic person, someone who would do something like this. So we really don't know what motivated him and why he did what he did.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything that you want us to know before we go?
You know, just we want to thank the community again. We know that the community they've reached out to us, they've been supportive. We just continue to ask for their love and support. But also at this time, we ask for privacy as well. That's why we want to do this now. But respect the family's privacy. And over these next, few days and months, it'll be pretty tough. Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting us be. I'm very sorry for your loss.
And this is why that I can't report on cases that involve DV unbiased. I just can't, you guys. And I tell you guys that I can't, I just can't do it. And I know you guys, it breaks my heart too. And I do have to say that he is not booked on murder at this time, but he is booked on related charges. Deandre Booker. And I saw another news person say that throw the book at Booker, and I think that that's what needs to be done too. I'm just going to tell you straight up. And for even though Ashley hasn't been found yet, for them to tell her family that she's more than likely deceased, I think that says, they wouldn't tell her family that for no reason. They had to find a whole lot. Yeah. So now let's go to Deandre's, I think it was his arraignment is what they call it. Let me show you guys. Let me show you guys how many people were there to support Ashley's family. I got these off Facebook, off Erica Erickson with WDIV Local 4. Click on Detroit. There was, it was packed, absolutely packed. And that makes me really happy that the community is there and family is there for Ashley and her family. So now let's watch the preliminary. And we learn a whole lot in this, you guys. A lot of times we don't learn a lot. This isn't even the preliminary trial. This is the arraignment, I think is what they call it. We learn what his Google searches were at the time that he fled to Flint, and they're really, really bad. And we learned quite a few things in this. And so I'll share this with you guys so you can watch it if you'd like to later. Also, you guys, you know that I usually put a fundraiser in my description, a GoFundMe, and I always tell you guys to do your due diligence, but they don't have one yet for Ashley for her burial and things like that. They're probably waiting until she's found.
Your Honor, Randall Kane appearing as arraignment attorney on behalf of Deandre Booker. Mr. Booker, state your name for the court, please.
Deandre Booker. And thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Steve Fox on behalf of the people.
And Detective Les Franz, can you please go to the table next to Mr. King? Mr. Booker, did you talk to Mr. King today?
Yes.
Did he go over your rights with you?
Yes.
Did you understand all of those rights?
Yes.
Do you have any questions regarding your rights?
No.
I'm going to enter not guilty plea for purposes of arraignment. With regard to bond, we'll start with Mr. King.
Your Honor, Mr. Booker is 32 years old. He's in custody on this charge. He states he is not employed. He lives at the same address. He also states he's not on probation or parole. I'd recommend a reasonable bond in this matter.
All right, and Mr. Fox.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Obviously, we're here on a 4-year felony for lying to a peace officer on a violent crime investigation. This is, of course, as Your Honor is aware, involving Ms. Elkins. And the court is to consider MCR 6.106F and MCL 765.6, a number of factors. I'm going to hit on a few if you don't mind. The first is the protection of the public.
Guys, I do have to tell you guys something else. He's saying here that he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a job right now, I guess, and he doesn't have anything, criminal history per se, in Warren County and things like that. But he was in the Army. And I believe that it was, let me see. I can't find it in my notes, but I'm thinking it was around 2007 for some reason. But he had a few instances, he got in trouble a few times when he was in the Army. I'm thinking of the last case that we did. It was 2007. I'm thinking this one was 2016 for some reason. I can't find it exactly in my notes here. Let me go back up here. Let's see if I got it up here. Yep, 2016. He had been charged with larceny of private property and fraudulent ID documents. So that scares me, you guys. And I'm glad he's behind bars, because if he can make fraudulent IDs, he could skip town probably very easily. Hey, B Crumbs, it's good to see you. So that worries me. I'm glad he's behind bars, and I hope he stays there. And in 2017, he was charged with desertion and AWOL. And he left the Army with, very good point, 71. She says, knew it. Yep, he's been finding ways to make money. That's a very good point, too. It's in telling what they'll uncover he's been up to, in my opinion. And he was let go in the Army with less than honorable discharge. So he didn't get dishonorable discharge, but less than honorable. Hey, Tony, good afternoon. Thank you for coming by. So I did want to tell you guys that. I forgot to.
The underlying matter, although not the charge specifically, but the underlying matter obviously involves a crime of violence, potentially. We are still seeking Ms. Elkins. The defendant, we suspect and believe, may know where she is. And a concern is her safety if, God forbid, the worst has not happened yet. So with respect to that, Judge, I believe that there is a risk to the public, specifically if she were still alive, and that's what we're all hoping for, of course. The other is the defendant's risk of non-appearance and the likelihood of conviction. Likelihood of conviction, Judge, the defendant made several material factual misstatements to detective aspirants and recited those to the court during the course of the initial swear-to. The defendant was aware that we were investigating a missing persons report. He was aware that there was some belief of his involvement. He made misstatements about both his location as well as Ms. Elkins, and how she may have left his vehicle, left his apartment complex, all of which we can demonstrate by objective evidence and video evidence to be false. So there's a high likelihood of conviction on these cases, on these matters. And then last and most importantly for the court's consideration, I think at this point, is the probability or improbability of returning for trial. We have a history that includes charges, at least. We do not have the disposition, but we did recover a DD-214 from his time in the U.S. Army. It looks like in 2016, he was charged with a couple of matters, including larceny of private property, and more importantly, fraudulent ID documents. And then in 2017, he was charged with desertion or the absence without leave, going AWOL from the Army. Ultimately, he was discharged.
I'm sorry I didn't look that up, Grateful Middle-Aged Cat Mama. But if, like, say that you do all your 4 or 5 years and you do everything really good, and then you're leaving, it's honorable discharge. You get an honorable discharge. But if you do something bad and you get kicked out, it's dishonorable discharge. So less than honorable, I'm really not sure, but I think it's kind of in the middle. You didn't do good. You didn't do good or really bad.
Charged less than honorably, although it was not a dishonorable discharge. He was discharged from the Army in a less than honorable means or manner. We know that after the conversations, before the conversations with Detective Lesperance, but we believe after the underlying events of this case, he fled from Macomb County, went to Flint, where he was apprehended and brought back to Roseville. And we know that during that time, while he was in Flint, he accessed the internet to search for such things as fastest routes from Flint to Ohio, what to do on the run, is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph, and deleting Google history. So, Judge, I think by his own words.
Jen, it's so good to see you. We miss you. It's so very good to see you. I hope everyone's okay on your end, the quackers and the fur babies, and you guys too. Did you guys hear the what he'd been searching on the internet? So he had been searching fastest routes to Ohio. So he was planning on going from Michigan to Ohio at least. He was searching what to do on the run. I'm not even going to say, you guys know that we see some dumb criminals a lot of the times, but that was really dumb to search. So we know if there was any doubt in your mind that he was planning on running, what to do on the run, that would erase all doubts. And he also searched, let me see here, whether blood can be traced and how to beat a lie detector machine and how to delete an internet search history. That last one, we know that he hadn't done it correctly, I guess, because he didn't delete his search history, thank God. But that's why I'm saying I'm having a hard time with this. Usually I would try to give benefit of the doubt if there wasn't all this evidence, but whatever they found in his apartment to lead them to believe that Ashley was deceased, and then these internet searches, I mean, it's getting harder and harder. You feel me?
In search history, by his prior conduct, and by what is frankly at stake in this particular matter, he's of significant risk of flight. With that, I would request a significant bond. I'm asking for a $500,000 cash surety bond, no 10%, and that a steel cuff GPS tether be attached should he make that bond.
All right, Mr. King, anything further from you?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Detective Lesperance, is there anything you wish to add?
No, ma'am. No, this time.
Mr. Fox indicated there are many things the court has to look to with regard to setting bond and determining bond. This court looks most closely at the risk of harm to the public and the likelihood of the defendant's appearance in court. I will note for the record that this matter is currently charged as a 4-year felony. I will also note for the matter that while Mr. Fox did point out several instances from the defendant's time in the military with regard to any sort of matters that came up with regard to larceny or desertion, that there is no other criminal history presented. But that being said, the matter being investigated does involve a missing person, which is a very serious matter. And the court takes very seriously that the allegations being made are that the defendant is lying to a police officer regarding material facts about a missing person at this time. That gives the court great concern about the risk of harm to the public and the likelihood that the defendant will make sure that he appears in court for both this matter and any potential further charges that may be brought by the prosecution. At this time, the court is going to assess an amount of bond in the amount of $250,000 cash surety, steel cup tether prior to any release. The PCC date in this matter will be January 22nd, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. on Zoom in front of Judge Bodecker. The exam date will be January 29th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. in person in front of Judge Bodecker. I have referred the matter to the Office of the Public Defender for appointment of counsel at this time. If the defendant does retain counsel, that counsel can send in a substitution of attorney. Is there anything?
Thank you, Judge. And just, I apologize, Judge. Just one clear, you indicate steel cup tether, that is with G, that's correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing further from the people, Judge.
Anything
Nothing
further,
further.
Mr. Green? Okay, you guys are all set today. Have a good.
Sorry guys, everything was it was loud enough, but then the judge was like really low. Basically the prosecution asked for $500,000 bond, and the judge said that she would take $250,000 bond, and he has to have a GPS tether if he posts bond. And I'm not for sure if that would be 10%, so he would only have to have 50,000. I'm not sure about that. I need to look into that. But she said that a missing person is a very serious thing, and she said that it was good to post to make the bail so that high enough so that the police, if they wanted to add additional charges, that they might do that. So that's basically what she said. And I wasn't watching that time, but in an article I read, they said that the only time that he looked down was when and shook his head, I think, was when they were saying the Google searches that he did, like saying, nah, that wasn't him. But bro, I mean, okay, guys. So now her family did a press conference right after this. So I figured that we could watch that. It's very interesting. Let me get that pulled up for us. And I'll share it like I always do too, guys. Okay.
Of what you saw in court today, I know I can't even imagine.
I just really had no bond. I think it's good he got the bond. I just didn't want to have a bond at all. I just want him not to be able to get out at all. I just want to go straight to prison and just never get out ever again.
I know that they asked for $500,000 and the judge lowered it. How do you feel about that?
I didn't like that. She should have did 500,000, but I can set 250,000. But which could have been higher or no bond at all.
You all have had your suspicions about him. Does this confirm what you were suspecting?
Yes. Yes, I knew it from day one.
Can you tell us about that? Is there a moment that you kind of knew?
When I got to her house, it was 8:40. She left at 8:30. I went in the house for a minute, came back out. I texted her I had a dream of her car being stolen. And She replied back, "Oh man," which was weird to me. So I FaceTime her. She didn't answer. So I said to her, just be mindful about your surroundings and, pay attention where you're going. And she didn't call back. That's not like her. And she never called back. And she never texts back. Ever.
Do you think that all man that wasn't like her, do you think that was her answering?
No, that was him. I believe he had her when she walked out that front door.
So her mama said that she wanted him to have no bail and to go straight to prison, and we all understand that, absolutely. This is going to be a very long process for them, you guys. They're dealing with the courts. They have to learn their daughter is deceased on one day, and then the next day is this that they have to go to, and they're going to be dealing with this court process, and they haven't even found their daughter yet to be able to give her a proper burial. So they're going through a whole lot right now, and they need our prayers too, you guys. Thank you, Chopper. I'll check it out as soon as we're done.
Does he have any violence or history of violence or anything?
I never knew he was violent, but now that I find out things, I know he was stalking, and some things happened. But I found out later from friends first that, yeah.
So you think he was kind of controlling, possessive?
That I know he was, because he would go through her phone, and she was doing hair at home, and he had a problem with men coming in and get their dreads and stuff done. And so
she said that he was possessive and would go through Ashley's phone, and he had a problem with her doing guys' dreads at the house. So I think that she's about to say that that she had to, that's why she had to move her business to a rental spot for a while.
She had got a booth somewhere on 8 Mile, so that she wouldn't have any problems with him. Then when they broke up, then she just went back and started going from her house.
When did they break up?
I want to say September.
And how long were they dating?
A year.
Can you describe their relationship? Have you been around them when they were
Yeah,
together?
he was around my whole family. When I say I thought he was the one who was going to marry her, just he was good to her kids. He played ball with them. He took them to their haircuts. Ashley's father was murdered also April 8th of last year.
Oh my goodness, you guys. I watched this earlier, but I forgot that she said this. Ashley's dad was murdered April of last year. Oh my goodness. And then her kids, so her 7 and 10-year-old, they had to lose their papa April of last year, and then to lose their mama. And then also, you guys, her mama here, Monica, said that Deandre used to take her 2 boys to play ball and to get their hair cut and stuff. And so that must be hard for the boys too, because how could they understand someone who was so kind to them would do this to their mama? I hope that that they get I couldn't process that, and I'm an adult, so how could possibly a 7 and a 10-year-old process that? I hope that they're able to get them in some counseling ASAP. Bless them, you guys.
He was there for that. I worked for Stellantis, and we had a Christmas extravaganza last Christmas. He was there.
Formal.
The formal. He was there. He was always at my house. I cooked. He was part of the family. So I'm just really shook that he would do something like this.
Did it give you any hope to hear the prosecutor say that they are still hoping that she's alive?
No.
Yeah, I think we heard from the chief and the police, and based upon the evidence there's reason to believe that she is not. We know the prosecutor is legalese, right? Until a body is found in a courtroom, they're still making those assumptions. But, last night, the family was very clear that, based on the evidence that, and what was shared with us by the police, that, she's deceased at this time.
And I know, have you informed her kids at all of that update?
I know you were just talking about how they're asking for them.
So yesterday I went and got them. I told this 10-year-old, he just screamed and hollered and asked why was somebody do something like that to his mother because she's so kind. And how she takes care of them. Who's going to take care of them now? And he's supposed to be a chef and he's supposed to buy her house. And he's supposed to cook for her. And they had plans, and now it's like he said he's not going to do anything now. He don't want to do anything anymore. And he's asked me questions like, is he going to his dad's or he's got to stay there now? And I don't know. I can't break down. I've been strong this whole time, looking every day from day one. And it's like I can't really lose it because now I got to take care of my grandsons.
Guys, and bless Miss Monica too, because like she said, she can't break down because she's got to take care of her grandsons. So she can't properly, she's probably still grieving from the loss of Ashley's dad. And even if they weren't together, I'm not sure if they were together or not, but even if they weren't, I'm sure you would still have some type of love for your child's father. So she was probably still grieving that. And then to have to lose a child too, oh my goodness. I hope that she gets some counseling for herself too. And I always worry about Jennifer says she has to stay strong for the family. Yep. Yep. And just bless her heart. She definitely needs our prayers too, guys.
So I just got to always just keep getting strong. But I get tired and overwhelmed. And I just want to thank everybody who helped me. I'm glad I went on live on Facebook. I'm glad that people share. I'm glad for social media who sent me information about all sorts of things, his family and people he knew and addresses. I thank the media for when you all came out, that y'all were on the ball. Y'all were calling me all the time from day one trying to get it on there. And, we don't speak on why y'all didn't get it. I'm not going to go there. But once it got on, even they would call me and would tell me updates so that I wouldn't see it on social media. Trying to just protect me and protect my family. So I really appreciate that.
Do you have any feelings to just how full that courtroom was? Some people.
She said that the news anchors and reporters would call her and tell her things before she saw it on social media. So that's wonderful. I'm just wondering if that was very, very thoughtful of them. And one of the news anchors actually said that her brother was murdered too. This area, it's bad all over, you guys, but this is 3 that we hear of just in this one case. So this must be a bad area. Neat Noodle says, it's amazing what you can get through when you have no other option. Ain't that the truth? You're exactly right about that. Absolutely.
Reporters can even get in. It was so full with support.
Yeah. I was on social media. I said I felt like I was alone and I didn't have anybody. And everybody showed me I did. That there are still villages out here. And yeah, I'm going to be okay with time. The boys will be okay with time, but it's just heartbreaking. She didn't deserve this. She was really a sweet, even when she was born, she was a child who never cried. And growing up, she didn't do too much. She was real quiet and happy. She was the person that everybody went to, her friends, for advice. And yeah, this is just hard.
She was missing. She's still missing. You still don't know. What would help you right now? What would help you in any way right now?
Just prayers. Just everybody pray that we find her. Just pray. I've looked, so.
The news anchor asked her what people could do right now for her, and she said prayers. Prayers is what she needs right now. And we've got them, don't we, guys? We always have prayers. We can do that, absolutely.
I'm sure that they probably know where she is. They probably still looking for her. That's what I feel. They just gotta find her.
Even if you know in your heart that she's possibly deceased.
I know she is. I knew it because they took too long. So
you still want to just have your baby home.
Yeah. So at least we can lay her to rest. She's my oldest, and I always told them, my kids, to stay close. Because if something happens to me, then she was supposed to take care of them. And I don't know.
Have they described as he being cooperative, or is he combative, or have the police told you at all?
As far as the
When they arrested
oh
him?
no, we don't have any information as it relates to that.
Did he ever reach out to the family at any point as when you guys were talking, trying to figure out where she was?
No.
What would you say to him?
But we accepted him. We accepted you in our family. You met her grandmother, you met her aunt, you met all her father's side of the family. You were good to those boys. You didn't think that how it would affect those boys, the ones you got their haircut, the ones you kept sometimes when she had to run errands, the ones you played ball with, the ones you took to the park. You didn't care about them. It's just sad that he didn't even think about them. I don't know.
Was that an immediate red flag to you that he didn't call when this all started?
Monica, they asked Monica just then if Deandre had reached out while she was missing, and she said no. So that's a big red flag, in my opinion, a huge red flag. And that they asked her what she would say to Deandre, and you guys heard her. She said, "You met her father's family. You met her auntie and her grandmother. You were a part of those boys' lives. Do you not realize what you've done?" I'm not sure, you guys. It's something maybe we can look into, that if in the aspect of domestic violence, we're telling women, we tell them how to reach out for help and things like that. We know that men are in domestic violence relationships as the victims too, but it just hit my mind, if men are upset and they see themselves going down this path and they possibly think that they could hurt their loved one, they need to reach out too. There is probably help for things like that too. I'm going to look in my resources and see what I can find, because you don't have to do this. You don't have to end up this way. If you have impulse control problems, if you have anger issues, there is help for you too. You don't have to do this. You don't have to hurt another family like this. You don't. Jennifer says it's got to be the worst feeling ever. They're not knowing where their loved one's body is. Yes. Yeah. I'm glad you agree, Debbie, and know what I'm trying to say. we'll look for that and see if we can get some resources for that to drop. I think that's a good idea.
No, it's a major red flag when she said, "Oh man, I knew it in my spirit something was wrong," and I knew that he had been there 2 days prior, acting like he was a client. He went on her website and booked an appointment to get his hair done, and then he came to her house. He knocked on the front door and the side door, and they didn't let him in. So here he is, 2, 3 days later. Boom, she's gone. That's sickening.
Can you describe any other stalking type incidents where he was doing that?
I don't know. A friend of hers said that she felt like somebody was always following in her car. Something about another time he tried to make an appointment, but she found it was him, and she called him, and he confessed that it was him, and he just wanted to see her, that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Why did she decide to end it with him, or was it?
When we find out he had like 6 and 7 different pages, like on Facebook, he would have the same people on his page, like responding or replying or, to whatever he posted, which is strange. The same 6 people are not going to always say something. You're going to have different people, different days say things. And that's when we start realizing that something wasn't right with him.
Do you think those were fake or?
Oh, they definitely were.
Yeah.
He was good with computers and doing things on them and making fake pages, making fake documents. We just really didn't know who he was. We thought we knew him, but we really didn't.
Did you know about going AWOL and the military or the other fraud?
We found out that he was in the Army. He did tell her that, and I asked her, did she ever see him with, a picture with her? She said she saw, but didn't know about AWOL. A cousin had said they didn't know. So he was in the Army, and then all of a sudden he was home.
What do you all think of when the prosecutor was going over the misstatements he made to police and then his internet search history?
We were aware of some of those statements. If anything, it shows how calculating he was, that this was premeditated, and it shows the monster that he is. We're still waiting on more information as it relates to that. I'm sure the police knows more than we do. But to hear that, it says a lot about him and the monster.
Neat says, my area has a batterers group. It started out as court ordered, but many stay voluntarily after, those that legitimately want to change anyway. Oh, that's great. That's so good. Jen, I was wondering if they have kind of like what Neat said for the other side. Like there's a lot of domestic violence groups, but is there anything for men so they don't commit domestic violence and hurt other families like this? That's what I was looking for. Yeah. Debbie says, not an excuse, but did he have PTSD? I would love to see more help and support for veterans. Me too. I really would too. But I don't think that he deployed. Well, like her, Monica said right here that they had seen a picture of him in I guess in his army, when he was in the army, and she said a cousin said that he was gone and then he was just home. So they don't know. I don't think there's a lot known about his time in the army. But yes, our veterans definitely need, well, we learned that when we went over Tanya Saucier. Remember, I need to look up and see what's going on with her case. She absolutely needed help. She's the one that shot her husband outside of the courthouse, remember? But he had shot her the year prior, and she lost an eye. She definitely needed more help. She was deployed a lot. Yeah. Okay, Jen, I'll check it out. Thank you so much.
So you think you planned it out all ahead of time?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Not just, you think not, he didn't just plan it, but he planned to get off, and he's hoping allegedly to pass a polygraph.
Yeah.
Right. That says a lot, right? You're researching how to pass a polygraph. You know, you show up 2 days before and prior. This was no doubt premeditated. I was a prosecutor. I did homicide cases. I mean, this is as premeditated as you can get, right? He planned it every step of the way. It's just, you can't fathom why or why would someone would do this. You're talking about a mother, a 30-year-old mother of 2 children, you know, and she didn't deserve this at all. But everything you heard in that courtroom, just from those messages alone, I think it says a lot about what he did and how this unfolded.
That's good.
Anything else anyone wants to add?
You know, again, we want to thank the media. Definitely want to continue to thank the community for their support. Outpouring, I mean, to see all that love and support in the courtroom, it does mean a lot. And ultimately, you know, we want Ashley home. And when I say that, I mean we want her body found. And we know the police are working on that. They're working diligently on that. And we want to move forward. You know, we want justice in this. And, you know, I said this last night, it seems that this case is resonating with a lot of people, probably for a lot of different reasons. We should not have to see our Black and brown women murdered. We should not have to deal with boyfriends or husbands attacking their significant others.
That's where I got the statement that I put in my thumbnail, you guys, from Mr. Morton, saying that right then. He said, we should not have to see Black and brown women murdered. These are things that are not normal. It should not be accepted as normal. That's Ashley's uncle, and that's exactly right. We shouldn't have to see women at all, but especially, you know, he's talking about his niece here. I'd have to look at the stats, but I assume that they're really, really high. We don't see a lot about this in the news, and that's not right either. Exactly, Debbie. Nobody should be. I dropped a link that Jen just shared with us, and it is a for prevention of abuse, and it's Center for Prevention of Abuse, and it said it even has signs an abuser is willing to make changes, and it lists a lot. And how can I help a friend who is an abuser? When I was doing the when I was looking into the domestic violence abuse for Domestic Violence Awareness Month, I saw a lot about how to help a friend in domestic abuse, but I never thought, you know, how can I help a friend who is an abuser? I never thought about that. And it's sad to me that I didn't think about that. But if we could stop it from that aspect, that would make a wonderful change to help them in the first place. I'm sad that I didn't think about that, but I'll put that in the Nightbot so that we can start dropping that, because it looks like a really good website. Thank you so much, Jen.
These are not things that should be happening. This is not normal, right? And we shouldn't accept this as normal. Whether we're police, whether we're everyday people, whether we're prosecutors, whether we're, you know, family members, this is not normal. And this should not have to happen to anyone.
Can you talk about your background? You're a former prosecutor. You said, where were you a prosecutor in
Wayne County.
Wayne County?
Yeah.
How many years?
That was, now I'm giving away my age. 98 through 2004, I was with the Mike Duggan administration at that time. I was a chief in the office, a deputy chief. Worked in the homicide unit. So.
You're a civil attorney now?
I do some of everything. Right.
Did you ever think you'd be on this side of that attorney-client?
You know, I was speaking with someone before. No, I mean, once again, is I think society grows numb to these things, and you see it on television, you see it in the movies, and you think, wow, that's so sad for them. To be on this side is devastating. It gives you another understanding. You know, it's like, that's why I said this is not normal. It shouldn't be accepted as another occurrence, another, you know, unfortunate female who, you know, went missing and you know, at the hands of their ex or their husband or boyfriend. It just should not be accepted as normal. But it gives you a different understanding being on this side, no doubt.
And he is my daughter's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my mother. That was her first granddaughter.
You guys said that the elderly lady on the left just broke your heart too. That's her grandmother. Bless her heart.
Yeah.
You watched her grow up.
Oh, yeah. We all had a hand in raising her.
And then you embraced this gentleman into your family. How does that make you feel?
I only saw him a few times, but that was her friend, and he came to my house all dressed up for a formal affair, and the stance that he had, and you know, I just saw some class in him, but we didn't know who he was. We didn't know.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
That's pitiful, guys. Absolutely pitiful. She said the grandmother had met him. He came to her house dressed up for a formal, and she didn't notice anything off about him. I do have one update that I saw this morning before I went live, and it's not good, you guys. It made me realize why they took the dumpster from his apartment, and I will show you guys that. It's not good either. I try to keep us upbeat, you guys, and say that there's always hope, but sometimes we have to realize that it doesn't look good either, you know? So it says officials searching Lenox Township landfill in connection to the case of a missing Warren mother. Hang on just a second. I gotta enlarge my page here. Okay. Jen says she is so sweet and I feel so bad for her and that whole family. It irks me to the core that the evil is more and more. No one can play God. I hate that. That's exactly what I said the other day, Jennifer. I said, nobody should be able to take a life. That is up to God. Nobody has that right. Nobody. Unless it's like self-defense. And then I said, you know, I could, if somebody hurts children, I could possibly understand that more, you know. Okay, it says police confirmed to 7 News Detroit that they're currently searching a Macomb County landfill in connection to the case of missing Warren mother Ashley Elkins. The Roseville Police Department, with help from about a dozen other law enforcement agencies, is leading the search at the Pine Tree Acres landfill in Lenox Township. Sources tell us police spent the weekend preparing for today's dig. They had to remove tons of dirt and cover soil to start excavating a certain area where they hope to recover Elkins' body. She's been missing since the 2nd, you guys. That's 10 days, 11 days. They got a long job ahead of them. Where they hope to recover Elkins' body. Deandre Booker, the ex-boyfriend of Elkins, was arrested in connection to her case last week. Investigators said he is the primary suspect. Last Thursday, Deandre Booker was arraigned on one charge of lying to a peace officer in connection to the case. Prosecutors say Booker made several misstatements to a detective. During their arraignment, prosecutors also said that Booker accessed the internet, and searched Google with several questions, including the fastest route from Flint to Ohio, what to do on the run, is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph, and how to delete Google history. Booker was given a $250,000 cash bond and will be in court later this month. Elkins, 30, hasn't been seen or heard from since January 2nd, family said. They've been pleading for her safe return and for the public's help in getting answers. Family said police told them they believe she was murdered by her ex-boyfriend. Authorities said her ex-boyfriend was arrested in Genesee County by Roseville and Warren police departments. The family is obviously very devastated. We're happy to hear about an arrest, but tonight we met with Roseville and Warren police departments, and they indicated to us that based on the evidence that Ashley had been murdered and by the ex-boyfriend at his home, that this likely occurred late last Thursday, early Friday. So they believe it occurred the same day she went missing or early the next morning. Chopper says, wait, are you saying that was on their browsing history? Yeah, Chopper. Yeah, when they arraigned him in court, they said what they found. Yeah, that was what was on his search history. Route from Flint to Ohio, so he was looking to leave the state. And then what to do on the run is blood traceable, how to beat a polygraph, and then how to delete Google history. Debbie says Google searches get them every time. I'm glad that they are that stupid. I know, right? Me too. Okay, let's watch this video and see what they say about the landfill. We have to watch a ad first, I'm sure.
Solutions New Year's savings event.
This one was a long one too, 30 seconds. We got a little bit left, guys. We'll get us there. I have tried to do the ads first and then bring you guys to it, but it won't work that way. It messes up. I wish they had a premium for this. 4 more seconds, guys.
7 News Detroit starts right now with a breaking news alert.
We begin with that breaking news surrounding the case of missing Warren mother Ashley Elkins. Investigators believe she was murdered, and they tell 7 News Detroit her ex-boyfriend is the main suspect. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit at noon. I'm Alicia Smith. Right now, Roseville police are searching a landfill in Macomb County, and that search is believed to be connected to Elkins' disappearance. 7 News Detroit reporter Randy Wembley is joining us live from that landfill, covering this search in Lenox Township. And Randy, have investigators made any progress? What's happening right now?
Yeah, still searching at the moment. The Roseville Police Department, along with help from about a dozen other law enforcement agencies, they're searching the Pine Tree Acres landfill in Macomb County's Lenox Township. This in connection to the disappearance of Warren mother Ashley Elkins, who went missing nearly 2 weeks ago. Investigators believe that she was murdered.
Guys, remember when they were searching for little Quentin Simon? It was so hot then. I felt so sorry for them. And we learned at Leilani's trial how that all of the PPE protective equipment that they had to wear during that, and then all of how hard a landfill search really is. And I think that they said there that there was only like an 8% chance maybe of finding a body in a landfill, or maybe even less than that. So they have a very big job ahead of them. And instead of being so hot like that, it's so cold here. Sunday says this is awful. I know. It's absolutely terrible.
Sources tell me police spent the weekend preparing for today's dig. They had to remove tons of dirt and cover soil before they began excavating a certain area here where they hope to discover key evidence, or quite possibly the remains of Ashley Elkins. Last week, her ex-boyfriend, Deandre Booker, was charged for lying to police at the onset of the investigation. Elkins' car was discovered in Roseville. That's also where police searched Booker's home.
after the search warrant, and really when they took away that dumpster, it was a tough reality moment, right? Well, something must have been in that dumpster, some sort of evidence. We still don't have her body, and so yes, we want her remains found, and we want that to be found as soon as possible.
So we want to bring closure for that family, and my heart breaks for them. It was tough speaking to them, but we're confident we're going to get there, and we're not going to stop till we do get there.
That's a promise Roseville Police working to keep as we speak. Right now, they, along with the help of about a dozen other law enforcement agencies, are searching the Pine Tree Acres landfill in Macomb County. This in connection to the disappearance of missing Warren mother, Ashley Elkins. We're going to be here for the rest of the day. We'll have more information and updates in later editions of the newscast of 7 News Detroit. But for now, live in Macomb County's Lenox Township, I'm Randy Wembley, 7 News Detroit.
Certainly hope they can make a break in this case. Randy, thank you for your live update.
Where am I? I lost myself, you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's absolutely terrible, you guys. And you know that searching the landfill is such a uphill battle. I pray that they can at least do that, that they can at least, so her family can lay her to rest respectfully. I'll keep up with this, you guys. There is I'll definitely let you guys know what's going on with it, but I do want to mention one more time that if you saw Deandre Booker, I don't have what kind of car he had, but if you saw Deandre Booker from January the 2nd to the 7th, he was arrested on the 8th, I believe. So if you saw him during any of those days, please reach out on the numbers that I have on the bottom of the screen. You can contact the Warren Police Department or the Roseville Police Department or Crime Stoppers. And I do have the Crime Stoppers, I do have their website in my description. So please reach out and give her family that. He took her, but they need her back for a proper burial. Absolutely. They absolutely do. I do have I don't like to leave us on a bad note. I do have something good. A woman she was working at her job last week, and let me get it pulled up here, and we'll end on this note, you guys. I appreciate you all coming and sharing and hearing about Ashley with me. That means so much, you guys. I know that you can spend your digital currency, your time anywhere, and to spend it with me means so very much. I appreciate it so very much. Let me get this pulled up for us. Hang on just 1 second. She was found safe. She was abducted. Armed robbery turns into kidnapping as a suspect arrested in Tennessee. Winston-Salem police said a woman was found unharmed but restrained in the backseat of a car in Tennessee Wednesday morning. So he took her from North Carolina to Tennessee, and she was found safe. Chopper says, on a good note, we are all together, and that's what matters. Absolutely, Chopper. You got that right. You got that right. So it says Winston-Salem police said a store clerk is safe after an armed robbery led to a kidnapping. Early Wednesday morning, Winston-Salem police responded to a security check at the Speedway gas station at 2700 University Parkway. When they arrived around 12:31 a.m., they discovered the store empty with no clerk on site. This reminds me of one of those FBI files or something that I had watched where it was a teenager and she was abducted from a store and they didn't find out who hurt her for years, I don't think. And she didn't make it. She was murdered. But this didn't happen to this lady, thank goodness. Says surveillance footage revealed that the store clerk, 40-year-old Latoya Lynn McEachern, had been abducted during an armed robbery at 11:46 p.m. Detectives immediately launched an investigation and an Ashanti alert was issued at 3:37 a.m. And I do have what an Ashanti alert is because I've never heard of that. It says an Ashanti alert is a public notification system designed to help locate missing adults between the ages of 18 and 64. This is great, you guys, because they have an Amber Alert, we know, for abductions, but they didn't have anything for people of this age. Particularly when there is suspicion of abduction. Similar to an Amber Alert for children, it is named after Ashanti Billy, a young woman who was abducted and tragically killed, prompting the creation of this alert system. So this is for North Carolina. I hope that other states have this. Sunday says, can you imagine the fear? I know. And he tied her up. She was tied up in the back seat. I'll have an interview with her I'm going to play after this, you guys. Detectives immediately, so an Ashanti alert was issued. So it was issued about 3 hours after she was abducted. It says the alert included details of the victim's vehicle, a 2019 white Ford Escape, to help the search. The car was then found in Erwin, Tennessee. The Unicoi County Sheriff's Office identified the vehicle near I-26 and arrested 40-year-old D'Angelo Shaman Toomer after a brief pursuit. McEachern was found unharmed but restrained in the back seat of the vehicle. Authorities confirmed there is no known connection between the victim and the suspect. Toomer, who has an extensive criminal history, including 14 convictions in South Carolina. Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't realize this earlier. He was convicted of armed robbery, sexual assault, battery with an intent to kill, and assault with a deadly weapon. Oh my gosh. So this time he was charged with aggravated kidnapping, evading arrest, unlawful possession of a weapon, possession of firearm during dangerous felony. This case highlights the critical importance of interagency cooperation and the effectiveness of tools like the Ashanti Alert System. WSPD, so that'd be Winston-Salem Police Department, would like to extend its deepest gratitude to the WSPD staff members, Unicoi County Sheriff's Office, and the community for their quick actions and dedication to public safety. So now I'll show you guys the she says that she is okay, but she's sore. And she said that she tried to get him to just take the car without her, and he wouldn't. Oh my gosh. I want to know why he was out in the first place. After all those charges, he should have still been locked up. Yeah, he had all those charges for that I read to you guys. I didn't read that before. This he had a lot of charges before, Debbie. I'm not for sure if he'd done exactly that, but he had a lot of bad charges. Let me find those right quick and read them to you guys again. It says Toomer, who has an extensive criminal history, including 14 convictions in South Carolina for armed robbery, sexual assault, battery with intent to kill, and assaults with a deadly weapon. So that's what his history included. So it didn't say kidnapping, but all that other stuff was bad enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll come and get you guys so we can watch her her interview now. Let me know if the sound is okay, please.
Tonight we are hearing from a woman in Winston-Salem who had a night at work she'll never forget. Someone robbed the Speedway gas station where she was working, then kidnapped her.
Yeah, police found Latoya McEachern hours later in Tennessee. She is back home tonight and shared her story with WFMY News 2's Nixon Norman.
Latoya McEachern says her mind was racing as she sat in her car with her kidnapper.
Be calm. Shut your mouth.
She says she was going back and forth from hysterical to calm.
Prayer works. Because I can tell you one thing, man, I was having these nasty thoughts. Is anybody looking for me? Does anybody know?
McEachern was...
Bless her, you guys. I can't imagine. I know that she was thinking that if anybody was even looking for her, they might have thought that she just skipped out on her job, you know? Hey, all things serious, it's good to see you, Eddie. How are you? It's real good to see you. And it's okay. It's more than fine. I'm glad you all are here. Did you see her, you guys? She said that prayer works. Bless her little heart. This is another instance. I hope that she gets counseling too, because I could not even imagine. Ooh, I don't even want to imagine all that she went through. Bless her heart.
Was working the night shift at the Speedway off University Parkway. She says regular customer Deandre Toomer came in, tapping his gun near the register. Not only did Toomer ask for the money in the register, he told McEachern to make sure her car was filled up because they were going for a ride.
We're going to take your car. I said, no, you can take the car. And he was like, no, we're going to take the car. I said, no, you can take the car. And he raised his gun to my face and go, no, we're taking the car.
At first, she said he made her drive, but Toomer eventually took over, eventually crossing the state line.
We was in Tennessee.
McEachern says Toomer wasn't aggressive. He was actually venting about a woman in his life.
I'm hearing this man sound so sad, but I don't care because I got kids at home.
It wasn't long before deputies in Unicoi County, Tennessee got the kidnapping alert, saw the car, and pulled it over after a brief chase. McEachern was tied up in the back seat, unharmed. Her family is understandably relieved.
I was so happy.
Without her being here, I didn't know what to do, but her coming back, I felt so happy.
Looking back, McEachern is shocked.
Bless him. That's her son, I bet, and her little girl. Bless them. I bet they were scared to death.
Entire thing.
I think I would have been okay with him just taking those couple little dollars and those 2 packs of Newports, and that was that. Or even taking my car too, because I'm like, take the car, take it. But to take me and the car and the money, I'm like, wow, you greedy.
She's just happy to be home.
I thought I was going to be in pain, but I don't feel any pain.
In a statement today, Speedway wrote, quote, "The safety of customers and store associates is our primary concern. We're deeply grateful to the first responders who safely located our associate." Now, as for the suspect, Deandre Toomer is in custody awaiting possible extradition.
I think that was a good one to end on, you guys. Sunday says that sorry, I'm mad he's out here able to terrorize women. Me too. I need to look more into him and see what I can find and see why he was out on the streets in the first place after all those charges that I read to you guys. Chopper says cars, money can all be replaced. A life cannot. You got that right, Chopper. Absolutely. Sunday, yeah, she was just trying to support her family. That's all she was doing. Everybody has a right to do that and not get abducted. In that story that I'm thinking about from way back, they said that that girl shouldn't have been working by herself. And in this instance, that woman shouldn't have been working by herself either. They didn't even know she was missing for 30 minutes. And it could have been way longer. Thank goodness for whatever customer that was that alerted the police. So yes, that was a good one to end on. Good news. I'm so very happy for that. Those stories are few and far between that I can find that have good endings, you guys. I'm so very grateful for her that she's okay, and for her babies, you guys. Her son was upset, you could tell. Bless his heart. Okay, I think that's all that I have for you guys. Neat Noodle says her voice reminds me of Whoopi Goldberg. She does. She did. I was trying to think of who she reminded me of, and that was her. Yeah. Thank you to my friends that are my mods that helped me today too. I really couldn't do this without you guys, so I appreciate you so very much. And if you guys have any, Samantha Koenig was abducted by Israel Keys from a coffee stand. Kathy says, yep, I remember that. Oh, he did awful things to her. Kathy, that's one that I can't watch. I can't watch stories about him. That freaks my freak bad, and I can't listen to him. I can listen to a lot of stuff, and I listen to true crime to go to sleep, or I can't sleep. But he's one I cannot listen to, and I can't watch scary movies. Even the campy ones from like the 80s, I can't even watch those, or it gives me nightmares. Jen says, once you are put into a vehicle, the lesser chance of coming back or being found. Fight. And love you all here. Thank you so much, Mo, and all here. Well, thank you, Jen. Thank you so very much. He was a whole nightmare, Kathy. He absolutely was. No, Debbie, I really couldn't do it without you guys. I appreciate you, my mods and my friends, so very much. And I thank all of you guys for coming and listening. Elizabeth says, sorry I'm late. I was at the vet. Oh, bless your heart. That's okay. I hope your little kitties are doing better. Oh, you get it, grateful middle-aged cat mama. You feel me. I knew you guys would feel me. You're my people. If anybody does, you guys do. All right, you guys, I'll let you go. And you guys email me if you find any other cases that we can bring awareness to. And please check out my community post. Hopefully, I can give some good updates soon. Of course, Chopper. Of course. Thank you all so very much for being with me today. And remember to take your vitamins and say your prayers too. Of course. Okay, I love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.